everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 12 and compare it against the iPhone 11 and see how these particular phones hold up in 2024. Now, the thing I will definitely tell you is within both these devices, they're both very good. They're both still supported with software. The iPhone 12 is the newer one, and it definitely feels like the newer device. But if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these phones, the iPhone 11, which came out in 2019, on the front has a 6.1-inch IPS panel on the front. This was probably one of the bigger, not disappointments, but it was the thing that aged the worst on this phone, probably. Definitely, when you're looking at most phones nowadays, they have a much better looking panel. This thing is definitely outdated, but it's still not an ugly panel. Like, it still holds up fine if you want to compare it against some things and do some things, like it's totally okay. But definitely with newer phones, it is a much better experience. But this one, standard 750p, like 60Hz panel, definitely not that great of a panel anymore. The iPhone 12, on the other hand, it is the same exact size, so it's still 6.1 inches, but it is a Retina OLED display. So this is one of the bigger advantages with this type of panel, is because it is an overall better looking display than the iPhone 11. So for comparing just like a display perspective standpoint, definitely something like the iPhone 12 is going to perform much better. On top of that, you are getting flat sides on the iPhone 12, so it gives the impression that there's less bezel on this phone as well, which is another pretty big advantage for the iPhone 12. It's an OLED display and a flat-sided panel, and it's a high-resolution display as well. So some really cool stuff going on for that particular phone. On top of that, with the sides, you are basically getting this curved side on the iPhone 11, whereas on the iPhone 12, you're getting this flat side to it. So that's something that's cool with the iPhone 12. Like I said before, I love having the flat side on this particular phone, and it definitely is one of my most favorite things going on for this particular phone from that standpoint. The iPhone 11 standard, curved side to it, which still looks very good. I love having a curved side, but definitely the iPhone 12 was the one that I like probably the most because it feels that good. SIM card trays on both, nothing at the top. On the bottom, lightning ports on both as well. And definitely, I will tell you, the curved side to the flat side, there's a really big difference here. Like, I really didn't really remember the difference here, but there was a really big one for the most part. On the back side, you're getting glass backs on both, which is amazing. I love having glass backs, and this one is a really cool thing. I love just being able to go through and just be able to have these, standard glass backs. The, frosted glass backs are much, much better than this one, but still totally okay. Like, I'm totally okay with these types of glass backs as well. Now you're getting the MagSafe capability on the iPhone 12. The iPhone 11 does not have it, but the iPhone 12 does have that MagSafe capability right there, which was a really nice touch. You're getting IP certification on both phones as well. And overall, it's a pretty solid experience on both. Like, I definitely do think if I'm going to go ahead and use and buy a phone, these two devices still feel and look fairly premium. Like, there's not really like big, massive complaints I would have besides the iPhone 11's display. Beyond that, I do think the iPhone 12, though, is the better one in most areas, and that's kind of the one thing to keep in mind here. Now, in terms of software and longevity, the iPhone 11 is one of the older iPhones supported on iOS 17. It's not the oldest, it's basically like second in line. So with a device like this, you're basically going to be getting a phone that's kind of outdated in some ways, but it's still kind of here for a little bit. Like, it's not like the oldest thing in the world, but it's still totally okay for the most part. And, it's still supported, so there's not much to complain about. The iPhone 12, though, does have a higher likelihood of outlasting the iPhone 11. So if you are wanting the phone that's going to last a longer amount of time, the iPhone 12 might be the better phone for you. Like, you might be getting a better experience from a device like the iPhone 12 rather than something like the iPhone 11. So that right there is like another like somewhat minor small thing to kind of keep in mind there, from that perspective as well. So that kind of covers it up there. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 12 has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 11 had that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's the faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background. So let us get into it. Let's do phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Pretty good stuff. Let's go and do phone call music, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I do think the iPhone 12, I don't know actually what's going on. The iPhone 11 doesn't have Wi-Fi now. What the heck happened? Settings, 3, 2, 1. Okay, pretty good stuff here. Let's go into mail, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think we're seeing a pattern here. Camera, 3, 2, 1. Let's take a photo, 3, 2, 1. Okay, pretty good stuff here. Let's go into photos, 3, 2, 1. Get the iPhone 12. Again, it's the faster one, hopping out of these two. I would do the App Store, but that's not really going to work right now. So let's do something like Files, 3, 2, 1. I think the 12 was slightly faster. And there really wasn't ever like that big of a difference, I would say, from a performance side between both these devices as far as I can remember. Netflix, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we don't have internet. I don't know why that's even being like that. Thank you, 321. Okay. Again, the iPhone 12 is the faster one. So there was actually a pretty big difference from the performance side between both these devices, more so than I can even remember. So that's something that's very interesting. Even like loading into this app, you can kind of tell which one is the faster one like immediately. And basically the same thing here. You can tell that the iPhone 12 is a substantially faster phone. This one did crash though. I don't know what happened there. That was very, very weird. This one failed to connect. That was a very weird thing. I don't know why this one crashed. Stack 321. Yeah, that was a very weird thing. I don't know what happened there. In terms of this app, it looks like the iPhone 11 actually got into this one slightly faster. Actually, I do want to get into this game because it's always kind of satisfying to just play it. I don't know why iPhone 11 doesn't have Wi-Fi right now. You can kind of see the iPhone 12 kind of looked like it glitched up a little bit more, but I do think between both, pretty good experience. There's really not like that much to complain about here, and you can kind of see what's going on there. Hopping out of these two, we can get a snake first blocks 3, 2, 1, and you can see right here, both phones loaded up almost the same time. Gameplay wise, you can kind of tell, at least in my opinion, the iPhone 11 was kind of glitching up just like it did there. But beyond that, kind of the same thing. And I think that kind of covers it up, to be honest. Like, obviously, there's going to be a difference here. And I definitely would tell you that between both, the iPhone 12 is probably the faster one. The iPhone 12 is going to be the one that's going to be giving you a better experience, which is expected. I don't really remember it being this big of a difference before. Maybe on iOS 17 it changes things, but the iPhone 12 is the faster one. The iPhone 11 is still like a fast phone, but the iPhone 12 is definitely the faster one without a doubt. Now, in terms of the camera side of things, I will tell you both phones, kind of do rock it in a lot of ways too. So you are getting a wide and ultra wide camera on both these devices, which is very cool. I love having a wide camera and an ultra wide sensor, and that's something that's really cool going on for both these devices. Now, the other cool thing, 4K at 60 on the front and the back of this particular phone. So that's something that's excellent. I love having that 4K at 60, and that's something that's really cool. The iPhone 11, you're still getting like a pretty good camera for the most part. Like, this is still a fairly good sensor. You're getting your standard photo mode, so you have that type of capability. You have video mode, slow mode, time lapse. You have portrait mode and panorama mode. So it still is a very good camera for the most part. 0.5x zoom there, and you are getting 5x zoom on the inside. So that is something that's actually genuinely very cool and something that's really awesome going on for this particular phone. And that is something that I actually like a lot. Now, beyond that, you also are in the iPhone 12. You are getting a very good camera for the most part as well. Like with this camera, it's very, very good. You're getting 0.5x zoom again, and you're getting 5x zoom on the inside. So that's another really cool thing going on for this particular phone. You're getting video mode, slow mode, time lapse, photo mode, portrait mode, and panorama mode. So that's another really cool thing going on for this particular phone as well, because you are able to go and use this phone as you normally would as like a good camera. So still lots of love for this particular phone as well. And to kind of sum it up, what I'll definitely tell you is these phones are very, very good, right? I still think they're, really good, cheap iPhones that you can buy. They're not, the 12 isn't the cheapest, but it's a very good iPhone that comes at a good price. And I do think it's still completely worth buying for the most part. I will tell you though, if you are in the market, like this one, definitely probably makes more sense to buy than the iPhone 11. But I still would recommend buying the iPhone 12. The iPhone 11 is a good phone too. Like, it's starting to become a little bit of a different type of device just because it is, significantly weirder. Like, it has like the IPS panel and things like that, but it's still a good phone to buy, and I would recommend buying it for the most part. So the 12, definitely I would recommend buying it. It is a better phone overall than the 11. The 11, if you can buy it for a better deal, then go for it. But I think the 12 is the one I'd recommend most people to buy. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.